Hi, this is Pat Johnson, and in this mini lecture we're going to continue on with our discussion of descriptive research, and this time we're going to talk about the descriptive research technique of surveys. So, you've all taken surveys before. When you take a survey, you answer questions either orally or in writing about your opinions or attitudes or behaviors. And some examples of surveys are that student opinion of instruction that you fill out when you take a course at this college and usually other colleges too. And it's not a test where there's right or wrong answers. It's merely a survey where, in this case, your opinion is being asked. Another example of a survey is the Gallup poll. Now, the Gallup poll is a national survey, and in the Gallup poll, the Gallup organization is asking people questions about their attitudes, opinions, or behaviors on all sorts of different topics. And I was looking here, and this is from June 26th, and there was an interesting one on men and women, how they differ on morals of sex and relationships, and that's from June 19th, 2015. So that's the Gallup webpage, and you can go to that. Now, we need to talk about the concepts of population and sample, because remember, the Gallup organization is a national surveying agency. They could survey the whole population, and the population is everyone you want to know about. So in this case, for the Gallup poll, the population would be everybody in the USA. So about 300 million people would be the population that the Gallup poll would be targeting. So why don't survey agencies ask the whole population? Why don't the Gallup organization, why doesn't the Gallup organization ask their surveyors to phone call everybody in the United States? Well, that's just not practical. It would take too long, you wouldn't be able to get everybody, it would be too expensive. So instead of asking the population, they would ask a sample. And a sample is just part of a population. So, wow, this is a population, everybody in the USA. This would be the sample, just part of the population. Now, let's suppose the Gallup poll asked everybody in North Carolina about their opinion about an issue. Would that be a good sample? Well, of course not. It wouldn't. North Carolina is just one state in the nation, and we may not be representative of everybody in the United States. So what we could do is ask a random sample. And a random sample is cool because in a random sample, everyone in the population has an equal chance of being in the sample. So everybody in North Carolina would have an equal chance of being picked, just as would everybody in all the other 49 states. And so everybody has an equal chance of being put into that sample. And the cool thing about a random sample is it is representative, meaning in your random sample, there will be approximately the same percentage of every variable you can think of, every demographic characteristic, whether we're talking about age or gender or race or ethnicity or religion, every variable that is in the population will be in that random sample in about the same percentage if that random sample is actually chosen at random. So how could you obtain a random sample? Well, let's suppose this is a top hat. And we turn it upside down, and into our top hat we put the names of everybody in the United States. And then we mix them up, and we pull out of that top hat as many names as the sample size we want. And that would assure that everybody had an equal chance of being picked. If we truly draw those names at random, in other words, if everybody in that population had an equal chance of being picked, then it would be a random sample and representative. Now, obviously, researchers don't use hats and little slips of paper anymore. This is done by computers. So a computer program could put everybody's name in and draw the certain number of names where everybody's name had an equal chance of being picked, and that is random sampling. So that was our short mini lecture on the descriptive research technique called surveying.